I saw my daughter sinking into the water. I ran with all my strength. I dove into the water. The water was ice cold. I didn't care. I swam. Emma surfaced. I grabbed her shirt and pulled her up. I dragged her to the shallow part. We collapsed onto the mud. I looked up. Margaret, my daughter's mother-in-law, was standing on the pier. She stood calmly and smugly with her arms crossed. She smiled. "Clumsy girl," she said, just like her mother. Poor peasant stopped. I looked at her. Emma clung to me, trembling. Margaret walked away without even looking back. Consumed by a desire for revenge, I called out to my sister. "Rebecca," I said. My voice didn't tremble. "Do you remember what our father taught us? This story is based on a true life story." 3 hours earlier, everything was normal. I was in Margaret's kitchen. Margaret lived in a big house by the lake. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a pier extending 15 meters into the water. Michael managed the money he inherited from his late father. Margaret controlled every penny. She made sure everyone knew it. I was chopping vegetables for dinner. Emma was sitting at the table with Lily. My granddaughter was 5 years old. She had Emma's eyes. Margaret came in. She looked at the carrots. "These are too thick," she said. I continued chopping. "It won't matter once they're cooked." She took the knife from my hand. "When I want your opinion, Sarah, I'll ask you." Emma stood up. "Mom, let's go." Margaret turned to her. "Sit down. You live under my roof. You follow my rules." Emma sat down. It always happened this way. Michael was working overseas for 6 months on oil rig. He sent money home. Margaret managed it. She said it was for their future. Emma believed her. I didn't. But what could I say? I was just the mother-in-law from the wrong side of town. Margaret never let me forget it. At family dinners, she called me the helper. She introduced me to her friends as Emma's unfortunate mother-in-law effect. Last Christmas, she gave me cleaning supplies as a gift. In a gift box. Emma cried in the bathroom. I told her it was okay. It wasn't okay, but I waited. My father had taught me to be patient. Margaret suggested a walk after lunch. "Fresh air for Lily," she said. We went to the lake. The pier was old. Some of the boards were loose. I noticed. Margaret noticed that I noticed. She smiled. "Be careful, Sarah. I don't want you to fall." Emma was holding Lily's hand. They were watching the ducks. Margaret approached Emma. She said something. Emma's face paled. Then Margaret's hand shot out. She pushed Emma's shoulder. Emma stumbled backward. Her foot hit the loose plank. She fell into the water. This wasn't an accident. I knew it. Margaret knew I knew. That's why she smiled. We returned home. Emma was wrapped in a towel. She was shivering. Lily was crying. I took her in my arms. Margaret made tea. She hummed. See, she really hummed. As if nothing had happened. Michael called. Margaret answered. "Oh, Michael, dear, your wife fell into the lake. She's fine. You know how clumsy she is." She laughed. I wanted to take the phone from her, but I didn't. I waited. Emma went into the shower. Lily fell asleep on the sofa. Margaret sat across from me. "Are you still here?" she said. I looked at her. "Yes, you should go. I'll take care of Emma and Lily. I'm staying." She leaned forward. Her voice lowered. "Let me be clear, Sarah. This is my house, my son's money, my granddaughter. You are nothing here. You are a poor woman from a poor family. You have no power. You have no influence. You have no. He smiled. Do you understand? I understand. I realized he had made a mistake. I stood up. I need to make a phone call. I went outside. My hands were steady now. I called Rebecca. She answered on the first ring. What happened? I told her everything. The shove, the threat, the smile. Rebecca was silent. Then she said, My father's playbook. Every page. I'm on my way. Rebecca arrived 2 hours later. She had a briefcase. She always carried a briefcase. She had worked as a paralegal for 20 years before retiring. My father trained us both. He was a criminal lawyer. He wasn't famous. He wasn't rich. But he was smart. He taught us how to think, how to read people, how to build cases, how to manipulate. He called it the long game. Never react, never yell, never show your hand, gather evidence, find an advantage. Then strike, he said. Rebecca hugged me. Where is he? Inside. Let's get to work. We got into my car. Rebecca opened her bag. She pulled out a notebook. First step, she said. What does she want? Control, money, power over Emma. What's her weakness? I thought. Margaret was smart. She was cruel. But she was also arrogant. She thought she was untouchable. Her ego, I said. She thinks she's won. Rebecca smiled. Then let's let her think that for now. We made a plan. First step, document everything. Photos, records, witnesses. Step 2, financial investigation. Where was Michael's money actually going? Step 3, psychological pressure. Make her paranoid. Make her careless. Step 4. Rebecca said, this won't be quick. She's smart. We have to be smarter. I know. Can you wait? Can you act weak? I looked at the house. Emma was inside. My daughter. My granddaughter. Margaret thought they belonged to her. She thought I was going to run away. Yes, I said. I can wait. The first move came 3 days later. I returned to Margaret's house. I knocked on the door. She opened it. She looked surprised. Sarah, I thought we had an agreement. I smiled. Softly. Apologetically. Margaret, I want to apologize. You were right. This is your house. I crossed the line. Her eyes narrowed. Go on. Do you want? I just want to see Emma and Lily. I won't interfere with you. I promise. She studied me, trying to catch my lie. But I'd practiced this. My father had taught me how to lie with my face, how to make my body language compliant, how to look defeated. Margaret smiled. Come in, but know your place. Of course. I spent the afternoon playing with Lily. Emma pulled me aside. Mom, what are you doing? Why did you apologize to her? I hugged her. I whispered in her ear. Trust me, I have a plan. Don't react. Don't resist. Just watch. She pulled away. She looked into my eyes. Then she nodded. That night we met with Rebecca again. Phase 1 is complete, I said. She thinks I'm broken. Good. Let's start investigating. Rebecca had connections. People who owed her favors. She started with Michael's financial records. It took a week, but we found it. Margaret was stealing money. 20% of every paycheck Michael sent home was deposited into her personal account. She had stolen $127,000 over 3 years. Emma didn't know. Michael didn't know. Only Margaret knew. There it is, Rebecca said. That's our leverage. Not yet, I said. If we use it now, she'll hire a lawyer. We need more. What else? I need to prove he pushed Emma. I need witnesses. I need to get him to confess. Rebecca whistled. That's ambitious. He's arrogant. He'll fall. I started visiting regularly, 3 times a week. I did the grocery shopping. I helped Lily. I was grateful. I was humble. Margaret swallowed it. She started openly humiliating me. At dinner, she would say, "Sarah, you really need to lose weight. It's embarrassing." Or, "Sarah, did you graduate from high school? I forgot." Emma would tense up. I would smile. "You're right, Margaret. I should be better." I recorded it every time. In voice memos on my phone. I kept them in my bag. Rebecca compiled everything. Now we had a file, 5 centimeters thick. But we needed something bigger. A confession. An admission. First, I tried confronting her directly. One afternoon, Margaret and I were alone. Lily was asleep. Emma was at the market. "Margaret, why did you push Emma into the lake?" I asked. She didn't even flinch. "I don't know what you're talking about. I saw you." "You saw an accident. Emma is clumsy. She always has been." You smiled. Did I? Maybe I was glad she was safe. She was very calm. Very prepared. I needed to make her angry. Angry people make mistakes. So I waited for the right moment. 2 weeks later, that moment came. Michael called. He was coming home early, 3 months ahead of schedule. Margaret panicked. I saw it in her eyes. If Michael came home, he would see the financial situation. He would ask questions. She needed time. She told him to stay. "There's a problem at home," she said on the phone. "Fundamental problems. It's not safe. Give me another month." Michael agreed. After she hung up, I said, "Does she really have fundamental problems?" He gave me a stern look. "Mind your own business. I'm just worried about Lily's safety. Lily is fine. This house is fine. The problem is you, Sarah." "Me? You're poison. You've always been poison. Emma was fine until you came to visit again. You're filling her head with ideas." "What ideas?" "Independence. Leaving me. You want to take her away from me." "I want my daughter to be safe." Margaret approached. Her face was flushed. "Your daughter is weak. She needs me. She needs my money. Without me, she and Lily would be homeless. You would be homeless too. You have nothing. You are nothing." I didn't move. I didn't react. "You're right," I said. She blinked. "What?" "You're absolutely right. I have nothing." He smiled. He relaxed. "Good. You finally get it." I left. But I got what I needed. He admitted it on record. "Emma, it was fine until you started visiting again." Ownership was implied. Control was implied. Rebecca listened. "That's not enough," she said. "He needs to admit he pushed her." "I know." "How?" "I have an idea, but it's risky." The plan was simple. It was dangerous, but it was simple. I would stage another accident at the lake with Emma, and I would force Margaret to make a choice. Save her or let her drown. Either way, we would get her. If she saved Emma, she would have admitted she could have prevented the first fall. If she didn't, we'd have proof of her intent. Rebecca hated this. "You're gambling with Emma's life. Emma can swim. Nothing will happen to her." "What if Margaret calls your bluff?" "She won't call him out. She needs Emma. She needs to keep Michael's family under control." "Are you sure?" "No, but we have nothing else." We told Emma the plan. She was very scared. "Mom, what if he lets me drown?" I held her hands. "He won't, but if he does, I'll be there. Like last time. This is madness. I know. She thought for a long time. Then she nodded. Okay, let's do it. We made plans for the following Saturday. Margaret suggested going for a walk again. The weather is beautiful, she said. Emma agreed. They went to the lake. I stayed home. I watched from the window. Rebecca was in her car. She was recording everything with a long-range camera. Emma walked to the edge of the pier. She pretended to look at something in the water. Then she deliberately slipped. She fell. She screamed. The scream was real. Fear does that. Margaret stood there. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. Emma thrashed. She went under. She came up. Help! She screamed. Margaret, help! Margaret didn't move. 30 seconds. I ran. I reached the pier. I dove in. Again. Cold water. Panic. Dot. I grabbed Emma. I pulled her up. We reached the shore. Emma coughed. She started vomiting. I looked at Margaret. You just stood there. Margaret shrugged. I can't swim. You didn't call for help. I was in shock. She was lying, but she was still in control. I failed. We failed. Emma was crying. She wanted me to die, Mom. She just watched. I hugged her. I know, baby. I know. Rebecca met us in my car. We found nothing. He didn't bite. He's very smart. What do we do now? I didn't know. Margaret was always one step ahead. She dodged every trap we set. She ignored every bait we offered. She was better at this than I thought. I looked at Emma. The horror in her eyes. The trembling in her hands. I made a decision. We're resorting to nuclear weapons. What does that mean? We'll stop playing her game. We'll force a confrontation, face to face. Rebecca shook her head. My father didn't teach us that. My father also taught us when to change tactics. The next morning, I walked into Margaret's house. I didn't call. I didn't warn her. I just walked in. She was in the living room, reading a book. She looked up. Sarah, what a surprise. We need to talk. Is that so? Yes. She closed her book. She smiled. About what? About the $127,000 you stole from Michael. His smile didn't change. Not even the slightest change. I don't understand. I pulled out the file. Rebecca's were bank statements, transaction records, 3 years of theft. I placed the file on the table. You were stealing money from their salaries. 20% every month. Michael doesn't know. Emma doesn't know. But I know. Margaret took the folder. She turned the pages slowly, calmly. Then she placed it on the table. Is this your last resort? Blackmail? This is real. Truth is subjective, Sarah. Not if there's a paper trail. She stood up. She walked to the window. She looked at the lake. Let me explain something to you. Michael trusts me. He entrusts his money, his house, his family to me. If you show him this, do you know what he'll say? He'll ask why you stole from him. No. He turned. His eyes were cold. He'll say I manage his finances, make investments, protect his future. He'll believe me because he always believes me. Do you know why? Because I raised him. I know how his mind works. I know exactly what to say. He leaned in. But let's say you're right. Let's say Michael believes you. Do you know what will happen then? I didn't respond. Look, he divorces Emma. He takes Lily. He has the money, the lawyers, the resources. Emma is left alone, penniless, and broken. Is that what you want? My jaw tightened. He saw it. He smiled. I don't think so. Now get out of my house. I left. But not because he won. Because I needed to pull myself together. Rebecca was waiting in her car. How did it go? She's not afraid. Did you show him the files? He laughed at them. Rebecca cursed. He's very good. Better than good. He's 10 steps ahead. So what do we do now? I sat there. I thought. Margaret was right about one thing. Michael would believe her. He always had. We needed something bigger. Something he couldn't talk his way out of. We have to get Michael on our side, I said. Before he turns us against him. He won't be back for another month. Then we'll bring him back early. How? We'll make Margaret desperate. Desperate enough to make a mistake. Rebecca raised her eyebrows. I'm listening. The plan was risky. We would leak information to Michael. Not about money. Not yet. About Emma's accidents. We would make him worry. We would get him to come home. When he arrived, we would have a witness. Someone Margaret couldn't manipulate. Rebecca sent the first message, an anonymous email to Michael's work account. Your wife has been injured twice in 3 weeks. Check on her. Short, dot, vague, dot, what? Disturbing. Michael called Emma that night. Margaret was in the room. Emma lied. I'm fine, honey. I'm just clumsy. Margaret watched her, arms crossed, smiling. But Michael wasn't convinced. He called again the next day, and the day after that. Margaret's smile began to crack. Why is he calling all the time? She asked Emma. I don't know. He's probably worried. About what? About me. Margaret's eyes narrowed. Did you say something to him? No. You're lying. I'm not lying. Margaret took Emma's phone. She checked the messages. She found nothing, because there was nothing to find. The email had been sent from an untraceable temporary account. Margaret threw the phone onto the couch. Someone's playing games. Emma looked at me. I didn't react. I just played with Lily on the floor. The second message was sent 3 days later, this time to Michael's boss. Michael's family is in danger. He needs urgent leave. The boss called Michael, asked questions. Michael panicked. He bought a plane ticket. He would be home in 5 days. When Margaret found out, she exploded. Who did this? She yelled. Who's interfering? Emma backed away. I don't know. Your mother, right? That poisonous woman. My mother didn't do anything. Liar. Margaret slapped her on her face. Hard. Duh. Emma's head jerked to the side. Lily screamed. I jumped up quickly. I clenched my fists. Margaret turned to me. Say something, if you dare. I said nothing. I picked up Lily. I took Emma to the car. We left. Margaret didn't follow us. She stood at the door. She watched. When we got to my apartment, Emma started crying. She hit me, Mom. She really hit me. I know, baby. I can't go back there. You don't have to go. But Michael will understand. We'll tell him everything when he gets here. Emma touched her cheek. It was red. It had already started to swell. What if he doesn't believe me? He will believe me. We have proof now. Rebecca arrived an hour later. She took photos of Emma's face. She documented everything. This is an assault. We can press charges. Not yet, I said. Let's wait for Michael. Why? Because if we act now, Margaret will twist the situation. She'll say Emma provoked her. She'll say we're ganging up on her. But if Michael sees this, if he hears it directly from Emma, Margaret won't be able to twist the situation. Rebecca nodded. 5 days. 5 days. Margaret called that night. I didn't answer. She called again and again, 12 times. Then she sent a message. You've turned my son against me. You'll regret this. I showed it to Rebecca. She's panicking. Good. But she's also dangerous. Cornered animals bite. What do you think she'll do? I don't know, but we need to be prepared. We weren't prepared. Margaret came to my apartment the next morning. She had a lawyer with her. A real lawyer. He was wearing an expensive suit. He had a leather briefcase. He knocked on the door. I opened it. Sarah Mitchell? Yes. I represent Margaret Hayes. She's filing a lawsuit for grandparents' rights, for custody of Lily Hayes. She believes the child is not in a safe environment. My blood ran cold. What? Margaret stepped forward. She smiled. You took Emma from my home. You're filling her head with lies. You're an inappropriate influence. That's why I'm taking Lily. You can't do that. Watch and see. The lawyer handed me the papers. The case has been filed. The hearing is in 3 weeks. I recommend you hire your own lawyer. They left. I stood there. I was holding the papers. I was shaking. Emma came out of the bedroom. What was that about? I couldn't speak. Mom, what happened? I handed her the documents. She read them. Her face went pale. Is he trying to take Lily? Yes. Wait. Can she do that? I don't know. Rebecca arrived within an hour. She read the papers. She cursed. This is very aggressive. He's using the lake incidents. He's claiming Emma was negligent. He's claiming you're a bad example. How will we counter this? We need a lawyer, a good lawyer. I don't have the money for a good lawyer. Rebecca remained silent. Then she said, I know someone. They owe me a favor. I'll give them a call. The lawyer's name was Patricia Chen. She was sharp, in her late 40s, not one to mince words. She listened to everything. The shoving incident, the theft, the slap, the recordings. When we finished, she leaned back. This is very complicated. Can we win? I asked. Maybe. But Margaret has resources. She has money. She has a clean record. On paper, she looks like a worried grandmother. You, on the other hand, look like an overbearing mother-in-law. But she hit Emma. Do you have any witnesses? No, just Emma's word and the photos. That helps, but it's not enough. We need more. What kind of evidence? Margaret needs to show her true colors, in front of everyone, in front of important people. How? Patricia smiled. We'll trap her. At the custody hearing, the plan was dangerous. We would provoke Margaret in court. We would make her lose control. We would show the judge her true colors. But it required perfect timing and perfect execution. One mistake, and we would lose Lily forever. Patricia coached Emma for 3 days. She taught her how to answer questions, how to stay calm, how to deliver the fatal blow. When the judge asks about the lake incident, tell the truth. Everything, maintain eye contact, don't cry. Crying shows weakness. You must appear strong. Emma practiced over and over. I watched. My daughter was terrified, but she was ready. Michael arrived 2 days before the hearing. Emma picked him up from the airport. She told him everything. The push, the slap, the custody case. Michael's face darkened. Did my mother do this? Yes. I don't believe it. Emma showed him her cheek. The bruise was fading, but still visible. She hit me, Michael. Your mother hit me. He touched her face. Gently. Why didn't you tell me? You'd take her side, she said. I would never do such a thing. Wouldn't you? He fell silent. because he knew it was true. He had always taken Margaret's side. Always. Emma pulled out the bank records. She's been stealing money from you for 3 years. Michael read the records. His hands began to shake. This is $127,000. I know. Did she steal it from us? Yes. Michael stood up. He took his keys. I'm going to talk to her. No, stop. Emma grabbed his arm. Not yet. Wait until the trial is over. We need you on our side when the judge sees him. What will he see him doing? Losing control. Michael looked at me. Is that the plan? Yes. You're using my mother's anger against him. I'm protecting my daughter. He thought for a long time. Then he shook his head. Okay, but after this, it's over. I'm done with his games. The hearing was on Thursday. 2 days later. Margaret didn't know Michael had returned. That was to our advantage. Patricia said, when he walks into that courtroom, Margaret will panic. That's when we strike. I couldn't sleep the night before. I kept thinking everything could go wrong. What if Margaret stays calm? What if the judge sides with her? What if we lose Lily? Emma slept in my bed. Like when she was little, she was afraid of the dark. I held her. We'll win, baby. How do you know? Because I won't let him take you or Lily. I promise. She cried, quietly, leaning on my shoulder. I didn't cry. I couldn't cry. Not yet. Thursday morning came. We went to the courthouse. Patricia met us outside. Are you ready? No. Good. That means you're taking this seriously. We went inside. Margaret was already there. Her lawyer. Perfect suit. Calm smile. Then she saw Michael. Her face changed. Just for a second. Shock. Fear. Pow. Anger. Then the mask came back. Michael, honey, what are you doing here? I'm supporting my wife. Your wife is keeping my granddaughter away from me. No, Mom, you're trying to steal my daughter. Her eyes narrowed. We'll talk about this later. No, we'll talk now. The bailiff called us inside. Everyone stand up. The judge entered. She was a woman. In her 60s. She had a stern face. She sat down. She looked at the documents. This is a petition for the rights of the grandparents. Mrs. Hayes, are you claiming that the child is in danger? Margaret stood up. Yes, Your Honor. My daughter-in-law is acting erratically. She's had many accidents. She's being influenced by her mother, who has a history of... Objection. Patricia stood up. There is no evidence of instability. Mrs. Hayes is making baseless accusations. The judge looked at Margaret. Do you have any evidence? I witnessed her behavior firsthand. What exactly did you witness? Margaret hesitated. A moment. He fell into the lake twice. And do you think that makes her unfit? I think he was careless. Patricia smiled. Your Honor, may I call a witness? Go ahead. I call Emma Hayes. Emma stood up. She walked to the witness stand. She looked at Margaret, then at the judge. I didn't fall, she said. Her voice was steady, strong. I was pushed. Margaret's lawyer jumped to his feet. Objection! That's slander. The judge raised his hand. Let her speak. Emma continued. Margaret pushed me. The first time, I almost drowned. The courtroom fell silent. The judge looked at Margaret. Is that true? Margaret laughed, coldly, sharply. Of course not. That's nonsense. Then why? Patricia said. Did you steal $127,000 from your son? She pulled out the bank records. She handed them to the judge. Margaret's face flushed. That's a lie. Michael stood up. It's not a lie, Mom. I checked. You took the money. Margaret turned to him. I was protecting him for your future. Is it in your personal account? You stole from me. You hurt my wife. You tried to take my daughter. His voice broke. Why? Margaret's mask cracked. Completely. Because you're weak, she shouted. You married a weak woman. You need me. You've always needed me. The judge banged his gavel. Mrs. Hayes, control yourself. I can't control myself. Margaret pointed at Emma. She's nothing. She comes from nothing. I was protecting you from her. The judge stood up. Enough. The request is denied. Mrs. Hayes, you will only have supervised visitation rights until the psychological evaluation is complete. Margaret's face twisted. You can't do this. I already have. The hearing is adjourned. We went outside. Emma was trembling. Michael hugged her. Margaret shouted at us from the courthouse steps. This isn't over. Did you hear me? This isn't over. I turned. I looked at her. Yes, it's over. We got into the car. We drove away. Emma started laughing. Then she started crying. Then she laughed again. We did it, Mom. We really did it. We did it. But I knew it wasn't over. It really wasn't over. Margaret was wounded. She hadn't been defeated. And wounded animals are the most dangerous. 3 days passed. Nothing happened. That was what scared me. Margaret had gone quiet. No calls. No messages. No lawyer. Just silence. Emma tried to relax. Michael moved them to a hotel, far from Margaret's house. He said she needed time to think, to process things. Emma relaxed. I didn't. This is wrong, I said to Rebecca. What do you mean? It's too quiet. She should have resisted. Maybe he's accepting defeat. Margaret doesn't accept anything. She's planning something. Rebecca shrugged. Maybe you're just being paranoid. Maybe. But I wasn't paranoid. On Monday morning, there was a knock at the door. Emma opened the hotel room door. A woman was standing there. A badge. A clipboard. A professional smile. Emma Hayes. Yes? I'm Lisa Chen from Child Protective Services. We received a report about your daughter. May I come in? Emma's face went pale. A complaint? What kind of complaint? Anonymous. Allegations of neglect and unsafe living conditions. This is crazy. I'm sure it is, but I still need to check. Emma let her in. Lisa looked around the hotel room. Clean, not safe. Lily was watching cartoons. Happy, Iowa. Healthy. Lisa asked questions. How often does she eat? Does she go to the doctor? Has she been hurt recently? Emma answered everything. Calm, it, son, patient, that. Lisa took notes. Then she said, I need to talk to your mother too. Why? The report mentioned that she could have a negative influence. Emma called me. I went there immediately. Lisa interviewed me for an hour. Where did I live? What was my income? Had I ever been arrested? I answered everything truthfully, because I had nothing to hide. When the interview was over, Lisa said, everything looks fine. I'm closing the case. Who prepared the report? I asked. Anonymous. I can't disclose that, but I knew. We all knew. Margaret called that night. Emma's phone. Emma didn't want to answer. Michael picked up the phone. What do you want, Mom? I want to talk to my granddaughter. No, to Michael, please. I made mistakes. I'm sorry. Apologizing won't fix this. I'm your mother. You're a liar and a thief." Margaret's voice changed. It was colder. "Be careful, Michael. You don't want to make me your enemy. You already are." She hung up the phone, but her hand was trembling. Emma touched her arm. "She's trying to scare us." "It's working." That night, Michael couldn't sleep. He sat by the window, watching outside. Emma found him at 3 in the morning. "Talk to me," she said. "I can't stop thinking about my childhood. It wasn't like this back then. He was kind, full of love. Maybe it changed. Or maybe I never noticed. It's not your fault." "Is that so? I brought you into this family. I exposed you and Lily to him?" Emma hugged him. "We're out of this situation now. That's what matters." But we hadn't gotten out yet. Not yet. The second attack came 3 days later. Michael's bank account had been frozen. He went to withdraw money to pay the rent. The ATM card was declined. He called the bank. They said it was a fraud alert. Someone had reported suspicious activity. "Who reported it?" Michael asked. "Margaret Hayes. She's listed as the joint signatory on your account." "Remove her immediately. Both signatures are required for that." "I don't care. Remove her." "We can't do that without her approval." Michael hung up the phone. He looked at Emma. "He's preventing me from using my own money." "How much is there?" "Everything. My salary, my savings, $80,000. Emma sat down. "What are we going to do?" "I don't know." "I knew." "Why?" "I called Rebecca. He's escalating the situation." "I noticed." "We have to respond firmly." "What's on your mind?" "We'll target his weak spot." "What is it?" "His past. Everyone has secrets they keep hidden. All we have to do is bring them to light." Rebecca remained silent. Then she said, "I know someone, a private detective. His fee is expensive." "I don't care. Hire him." The detective's name was Tom. Former cop, Dottie. Loud voice. "We met at a restaurant." Rebecca gave him Margaret's information. "We need everything. Criminal record, financial history, past relationships, anything we can use." Tom shuffled through the papers. "This requires a lot of research. It will take time." "How much time?" 2 weeks, maybe 3. "We don't have 3 weeks. Then I'll work faster, but I'll charge extra." I pulled out my credit card. "Do it." Tom left. Rebecca looked at me. "Are you okay?" "No." "Do you want to talk?" "No." She didn't insist. We sat there. We drank bad coffee. We waited for the next bomb to go off. It went off that weekend. Margaret came to the hotel with Michael's brother. His name was David. He lived in California. They hadn't spoken in 5 years, but here he was. Margaret had brought him. David knocked on the door. Michael opened it. His face fell. "David?" "Hello, little brother. What are you doing here?" "Mom called. She said you were having problems. I thought I could help." Michael looked behind him. At Margaret. Margaret smiled. "Family should stick together. Get out." "Michael, please." David stepped forward. "Listen to her." "Why? So he can lie to you too?" "She told me everything. The custody case, the money, your wife's accusations." "Those aren't accusations. They're facts." David shook his head. "My mother wouldn't do something like that. You know her. She's just trying to protect you." "Protect me?" "She stole from me." "She was managing your money in her own account?" David hesitated. Margaret interjected. "I made mistakes, but I did it out of love." "Love?" Michael laughed bitterly. "You call beating my wife love? I didn't hit anyone. There are photos. They're Photoshop." Michael took a step back. I can't believe this. David, she's lying. She's been lying all this time. David looked at Margaret, then at Michael. I think you're overreacting. Get out, both of you. They didn't move. Emma appeared behind Michael. You heard him? Go. Margaret looked at her. This is your fault. You turned my son against me. I told him the truth. Your truth, not the truth. There is only one truth. Margaret smiled. Ah, Emma, you're so naive. The truth is what people believe, and I'm very good at making people believe me. Michael slammed the door. But the damage was already done. David was on Margaret's side. And if David believed her, so would the others. That night, Michael broke down. He's turning my family against me. Emma hugged him. We still have each other. How long? What if he convinces everyone? What if they all think I'm the bad guy? Then we'll prove them wrong. How? I took the lead. We'll wait for Tom. He'll find something. I know it. What if he doesn't? He will. But I wasn't sure. Margaret had survived this long by being smart, by hiding her tracks. What if there was nothing to find? Tom called 2 weeks later. I found something. My heart raced. What did you find? I can't talk on the phone. Let's meet at the restaurant. We met within an hour. Me, Rebecca, Michael. Tom passed a file across the table. Margaret Hayes isn't who she says she is. What do you mean? Michael asked. Her maiden name was Margaret Sullivan. She married Richard Hayes in 1976. She gave birth to you in 1992. Richard died in 1995. That's the official story. What's the unofficial story? Richard didn't die. He left. Michael's face tensed. What? What? He left home. He filed for divorce. He moved to Oregon. He remarried. He's still alive. That's impossible. My mother showed me his death certificate. It's fake. I found Richard. I talked to him. He said Margaret treated him badly, controlled him. He wanted to take you with him. Margaret threatened to kill him. So he left, alone. Margaret told everyone he was dead. Michael couldn't speak. His hands clenched the table. Emma touched his shoulder. Michael, my whole life was a lie. Not your entire life, just that part. She told me he was dead. I mourned him. I visited his fake grave every year. Tom turned a page. There's more. More? Richard says you're not his biological son. Silence fell over the table. Michael looked at Tom. What did you say? Margaret was pregnant when they met. She never told him his father's name. She agreed to raise you as her own son, but you're not his son. Michael jumped up quickly. His chair fell over. I need some air. He went outside. Emma followed him. I looked at Tom. Who is your real father? I don't know. Richard didn't tell me. Maybe he doesn't know either. Can we use this? It depends on the situation. What do you want to do? I thought about it. This was Margaret's secret, something she had kept hidden for decades. If it came out, she would lose everything. Her reputation, her credibility, her power over Michael. We use it as leverage, I said. We force him to back down, or we expose him. Rebecca shook her head. It's risky. Michael might not forgive us. He'll forgive us when this is over. We gave Michael a night to think it over. The next morning, he came to my apartment. His eyes were red. He hadn't slept. Is this true? He asked. Tom doesn't lie. So my father is alive, and I'm not even his son. Biologically, no, but he raised you. Is that so? He left me with him. He was afraid. I was a child. He should have fought for me. I couldn't argue with that. Michael sat down. He buried his face in his hands. What do I do now? Let's end this. Let's confront Margaret. Let's put an end to this. How? We'll give her a choice. Either she leaves us alone, or we make sure everyone learns the truth about her. Michael lifted his head. Are you trying to blackmail my mother? I want to protect my daughter and granddaughter. If blackmail is necessary for that, then yes. He thought for a long time. Then he nodded. All right, let's do it. We arranged the meeting. A neutral place. A park. Public. Safe. Margaret agreed to come. She thought we were negotiating. She was wrong. We got there first. Me, Rebecca, Michael, Emma. Margaret was 10 minutes late. She was alone. She looked at us. This is very dramatic. Sit down, Michael said. She sat down. What do you want? Michael slid the folder across the table. The truth. She opened the folder. She read the first page. Her face didn't change, but her hands clenched. Where did you find this? It doesn't matter. Is it true? This is an old story. Is it true? He closed the folder. Yes. You've been lying to me my whole life. I protected you. From what? From the truth. From a father who didn't want you. He wanted me. You drove him away. Margaret let out a cold laugh. Richard was weak, just like you. Michael flinched. I stepped forward. Here's how things are going to go. You're going to leave us alone. No more CPS. No more lawyers. No more manipulation. Otherwise, we'll send this to everyone you know. Your friends, your church, your country club, everyone. Margaret looked at me. You wouldn't dare. Try it. She stood up. Do you think this scares me? I've been through worse. Then, there's no harm in us publishing this. She hesitated for a moment. What do you want? Hand over the money you stole, drop the custody case, and don't contact us again. What happens if I refuse? Then your entire life will be ruined. Margaret looked at me for a long time. Then she smiled. You're more like me than you think, Sarah. I'm not like you. Keep telling yourself that. She walked away, but she didn't accept it. And that meant war. Margaret acted 3 days later. She called Michael. Her voice was different. Soft. Broken. Michael, please. I need to see you. Alone. Just once. Let me explain everything. Michael looked at me. I shook my head. It's a trap. I know. Then don't go. I have to go. She's still my mother. She's a manipulator. Maybe, but I need to put this behind me. She left. Despite my advice. Despite Rebecca's warnings. Despite everything we learned. She met him at his house. The lake house. When she didn't come back after 2 hours, I called her. No answer. I called again. No answer. Emma started to panic. Something's wrong. We can't know that. Mom, I can feel it. I felt it too. We went to Margaret's house. Quickly. The door wasn't locked. We went inside. Michael? Emma called out. No answer. We checked every room. Empty. Then I saw it. His phone. On the kitchen counter. Smashed. The screen cracked. My stomach knotted. Call the police. What will we say? That my son-in-law is missing. Emma dialed the number. The police arrived within 20 minutes. They took our statements. They searched the area. They found nothing. Maybe he left on his own, said a police officer. His phone is shattered. It could have been an accident. You don't believe that? The officer shrugged. Without evidence of something bad happening, there's nothing we can do. He's an adult. Adults can leave. They left. Emma collapsed onto the couch. She was crying. I stood there. I thought Margaret had taken her. I knew it. But where? And why? My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello? Sarah D. Margaret's voice. Calm, Insha. We need to talk. Where's Michael? He's safe, for now. What do you want? You know what I want, the file. What if I don't give it to you? Then Michael will be lost, forever. My blood ran cold. You're bluffing. Is that so? You know what I'm capable of. You've seen it. If you hurt him, what will you do? Call the police. They won't believe you. No one will. I'm a grieving mother. You're a heartless mother-in-law. Whose side do you think they'll take? She was right. And she knew it. I need time. You have 2 hours. Let's meet at the lake house. Come alone. Bring the files. She hung up the phone. I stood there, the phone in my hand. I was trembling. Emma looked at me. What did she say? Michael is with her. Oh my God. He wants the files. Within 2 hours. What are we going to do? I called Rebecca. I told her everything. She cursed. This is kidnapping. We're going to the police. They won't help. Margaret is very smart. Then, what are we going to do? We'll give him what he wants. Sarah, no. Those files are our only leverage. I don't care about the rest. I care about getting Michael back safe and sound. Rebecca remained silent. Then she said, all right. But we won't go alone. He said we should go alone. I don't care what he said. I'm coming too. I'm bringing Tom. We got ready. Rebecca printed fake documents. They were convincing enough to pass a quick check. Tom brought a cable, a small recording device. Plug this in, he said. Make him talk. Get him to confess. He's too smart for that. He's also arrogant? Use that. I plugged in the cable. Under my shirt. We went to the lake house. Tom parked down the road. Somewhere out of sight. Rebecca stayed with him. If anything happens, we'll call the police. The real police, not the local police, the feds. He didn't cross state lines. Kidnapping is a federal crime. We'll handle it. I walked to the house. I was alone. The sun was setting. The lake was dark. I knocked on the door. Margaret opened it. She looked at me. Then she looked behind me. I said I was alone. I'm alone. Don't lie to me, Sarah. Where is Michael? She stepped aside. Come in. I went inside. The living room was empty. Where is he? In a safe place. I want to see him. The files first. I took out the folder. I handed it to him. He slowly, carefully shuffled through the folder. Then he looked up. This is fake. My heart stopped. No, it's not. Yes, it's fake. The paper is too new. The ink is too fresh. Did you think I wouldn't notice? I brought what you asked for. He threw the folder at me. The papers scattered everywhere. Where are the real files? That's all there is. Liar! He grabbed my arm tightly. His nails were digging in. I pulled back. Let me go. Tell me where they are. I don't have them. He pushed me. I hit the wall. My head hit the frame. I felt a pain in my head. I collapsed to the floor. My head was spinning. Margaret was standing over me. You stupid woman. Did you think you could beat me? I started playing this game before you were even born. I touched my head. There was blood. Where's Michael? He's fine, for now. What did you do to him? Nothing. Not yet, but if you don't give me what I want, that will change. I heard a sound. From above. A rumble. Margaret heard it too. She smiled. He's awake. She went upstairs. I followed her. Slowly. My head was spinning. We reached a bedroom. It was locked. Margaret took out a key. She opened the door. Michael was inside. He was tied to a chair. His mouth was taped shut. When he saw me, his eyes widened. Margaret went over to him. She ran her hand through his hair. My beautiful son, you were always such a trusting child. She tore off the tape. Michael gasped for breath. Mom, what are you doing? I'm protecting us, just like I always have. This isn't protection. This is madness. Madness? Margaret laughed. I gave up everything for you. I lied for you. I sacrificed for you. And how did you repay me? You chose her. Margaret pointed at me. A woman with nothing. A woman with nothing. She's Emma's mother. Yeah. Emma is weak, just like her mother. Just like you. Michael's face hardened. Let me go. No. Oh. Mom. I said no. He grabbed her face. He squeezed it. You will listen to me. For once in your miserable life, you will leave Emma. You will take Lily. And you will come home to where you belong. I'll never do that. Then you'll stay here until you change your mind. I took a step forward. Margaret, stop. This won't work. She turned to me. Is that so? Who's going to stop me? You? You're lying on the ground covered in blood. The police will come. No, they won't, because you won't call them. Why wouldn't I call them? Because if you do, Michael will disappear. Forever. Do you understand? I understood. He was ready to kill his own son. To keep control. He was that far gone. I had to stall him. I had to keep him talking. I had to let the listening device do its job. Why? I asked. Why is it so important? What? What? Control. Power. His face changed. It softened. Just for a moment. You wouldn't understand. Try. He looked at Michael. Then at me. I was 17 when I got pregnant. The father was a married man, powerful, rich. He didn't want anything to do with me. He gave me money to disappear. I took the money. I met Richard. So you lied to him. You manipulated him. You hurt the people he loved. I protected him. You suffocated him. Her eyes flashed. You can't judge me with your perfect little family, your supportive sister, your honest father. I had nothing. I built everything myself, and I won't let you take that away from me. It's already over, Margaret. Michael knows the truth. Emma knows. Everyone knows. Then I have nothing left to lose. He pulled a knife from his pocket. Small. Sharp. He walked toward me. If it can't be mine, it can't be yours either. Michael screamed. Mom, no! He lunged. I moved. Quickly. I'd watched my father in self-defense classes for years. Muscle memory. I grabbed his wrist. Twisted it. The knife fell. He staggered. I pushed him back. He hit the nightstand. Fell. I grabbed the knife. I stood over him. My hand was shaking. It's over. He looked at me and smiled. You're just like me. No, I'm nothing like you. You would have used that knife, if necessary. Maybe, but I didn't. I dropped the knife. I untied Michael. He fell into my arms. It's okay. You're safe. Police, sirens. Far away, but getting closer. Rebecca and Tom had called the police. Margaret had heard them too. She tried to get up. I stopped her. Stay down. You can't keep me here. Watch and see. The police burst in. They had their guns drawn. They saw Margaret on the floor. Me and Michael. The rope. The knife. They understood. Margaret was arrested. Kidnapping. Assault. Attempted murder. She didn't resist. She just smiled as they put the handcuffs on her. This isn't over, Sarah. Yes, it is. They took her away. 3 months later, Margaret was sentenced. 10 years, with the possibility of parole after 5. Michael didn't attend the sentencing hearing. Neither did I. We had stopped giving him our strength. Michael and Emma moved into a small house, away from the lake, away from the memories. They were rebuilding, slowly. Michael started therapy. He was working through everything, the lies, the abuse, the truth about his father. Emma supported him. She was stronger now. She believed in herself. I visited them every week. I played with Lily. I helped with shopping. The things a normal grandmother would do. One afternoon, Michael pulled me aside. I never thanked you. For what? For fighting for us. For never giving up. You're my family. I'll always fight for you. He hugged me tightly. I'm sorry I didn't believe in you before. You believed when it mattered. That's enough. We met up with Rebecca for coffee, just like the old days. Do you think he'll come back? She asked. Maybe, but we'll be ready. Aren't you afraid? I'm very scared, but I'm also ready. My father taught us how to fight, how to survive. Margaret thought she could destroy us. She was wrong. Rebecca smiled. My father would be proud. I hope so. We sat there. We drank coffee. We watched people pass by. A normal life. A peaceful life. A hard-won life. My phone rang. It was Emma. Can you watch Lily tonight? Michael and I want to go on a date. I smiled. I texted back. Of course. That was it. That's what we fought for. Not for revenge. Not for victory. Just to live. To be free. To choose our own path. Margaret tried to take that away from us. She failed. And that was enough. If you've been through something like this, know this. You are not alone. There are toxic family members. They manipulate. They control. They hurt. But you have power. More than you think. Document everything. Build your case. Find your allies. And never give up the fight. Because freedom is worth it. Your peace is worth it. Your family is worth it. What would you do if someone like Margaret tried to control your life? How would you fight back? Share your story in the comments. There's someone out there who needs to hear this. Someone who needs to know they're not alone. We survive. You can too.